So hello everybody and welcome to the first edition of Lexplainer series. Here in this series, I'll be discussing some basic concepts of law. They may include certain doctrines, certain fundamental features, maxims, etc. For today's Lexplainer, I have chosen the concept of constitutionalism. Constitution is my favorite subject and that is why I wanted to start with something related to constitution. Now, there is no need to explain what is the constitution or what is the meaning of a constitution, but let me just take you through something. So this is the Constitution of India and it is the fundamental law of the land. The Constitution gives certain powers to the government. But what is the source of our Constitution? If we look at the preamble tells us that we, the people, have adopted and enacted and given to ourselves this Constitution. Therefore, the source of the Constitution is the people itself. Now, since the power is conferred by the people, nothing, not even the Constitution, must be able to override the power of the people. Here, let me talk about the social contract theory which was given by Thomas Hobbes, John Locke and Rousseau. You know, the social contract theory suggests that all people together surrender their rights in favor of the sovereign, and in return, the sovereign promises to protect the life and liberty of the people. So this is the social contract which the people have with the sovereign. Similarly, when the power of the Constitution is given by the people and the government exercises its powers with the confidence of people, nothing in the Constitution must allow government to exceed its powers. Otherwise, it may lead to dictatorship. So we have Constitution. When something pertains to Constitution, it becomes constitutional. But whenever we add ism, जब भी हम किसी चीज में, किसी वर्ड में ISM, ism डाल देते हैं, then it becomes an abstract concept. For example, region के साथ ism जुड़ा, regionalism, communalism, secularism. So constitutionalism is basically an abstract concept. Some countries may have constitution but may not have constitutionalism. अब जानते हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनलिज्म होता क्या है. So the first thing is constitutionalism is a limitation on the powers of the government. गवर्नमेंट को जो पावर्स मिले हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं लिमिटेड हैं बिकॉज वो पावर्स पीपल ने उन्हें दिए हैं. That is why constitutionalism means limited government. What does it tell you? It tells that we have to put certain checks and balances on the organs of the government so as to control the arbitrary and uncontrolled powers conferred by a written text of the Constitution. For example, abhi recently we are looking at the farmer protests. Now, the law which has been passed by the Parliament has been validly passed. The procedure has been completely followed. Even then, the Supreme Court had to intervene because ultimately farmers are the stakeholders and whatever they are trying to say must be heard by the government. Here are some features of constitutionalism. देखते हैं कैसे. If a constitution is written, then the powers and functions are given by the constitution and उसी के साथ certain limitations are also written in the constitution. What the government can do and what the government cannot do. Next is the independent judiciary. Even though the powers have been given and the limitations placed in the written text of the Constitution, if there is an independent judiciary, then all the powers exercised by the government organs can be reviewed by the judiciary. Rule of law. Here, law does not mean positive law. Law is something above what has been written. So rule of law, that means law would rule. It will be above everything. We move on to the next concept, which is separation of powers. It was given by the French philosopher Montesquieu. Separation of powers suggests that no particular organ of the government should be given all powers. They should be separated so that the system of checks and balances is maintained. Now, some other features like free and fair elections, right? We have free and fair elections in our constitution. Thereafter, we have fundamental rights. That means, since Article 13 tells us that fundamental rights are non-derogable, that's why they act as limitations on the power of government. The government cannot take any decision or make any policy or law for that matter which violates the fundamental rights of the citizens and the persons also, where the rights pertain to all persons and not just citizens. Finally, the concept of federalism. Federalism is of utmost importance in the Indian context because we have so many languages, we have so many religions, we have such diversity that the centralization tendency should not be such that the power of the states, the power of the constituent units should be undermined, right? So that is why federalism allows both the governments, one at the center and the other at the state level, to work in coordination and in cooperation. That concept is known as cooperative federalism. Some examples of cooperative federalism: Niti Aayog, and the recently formed GST Council. So, these are not exhaustive, but these are some of the features that tell us we do have constitutionalism and not only a simple written text of constitution. So, I'm done with today's Lexplainer series. You can write your comments on something you haven't understood or something you would want to know so that I can take it in the next series. So thank you everybody, and I hope you understood the concept of constitutionalism. Thank you.